I definitely am torn about what's going to get coated what colors. Maybe like a gold or a burgundy or something. But anyway, if you have some suggestions, I'm open. Hello everybody, welcome back to the IzzyFab Speed YouTube channel. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all that jazz. This is the first video back from Christmas, and it's going to be kind of just a couple little random things. First of all, you guys remember seeing us 3D print this little bulkhead adapter. Ignore those lines, you're not supposed to see those yet. Well, this is carbon PETG, which is, you know, for lack of a better term, plastic. Very strong, we've used it in lots of stuff before, but I am trying to up our game here at the shop a little bit. So, I found a website called Craft Cloud. And with that, I did this. This is 3D printed aluminum. I really wanted to try this website, see what it did for us, see how good the print quality was, and it's pretty amazing. It looks just like a sandblasted piece of billet. Sounds like it. It's very solid. Tensile strength is supposed to be that of billet 6061. It can range from the same tensile strength up to twice as much, so that's pretty crazy. So I am going to pull that other plastic piece out, and we'll switch this in position of it and see how the tolerances fit and everything. The really cool thing about this is, again, going forward, this opens up a world of possibilities, and it's incredibly affordable. This part was $92 shipped to my door, Canadian. So that's about 60 bucks US right now. And it took about 8 business days to get here, which is insane. Came from China, 3D printed. All I had to do was upload my step file to the website and click print. So I have, since this part arrived, ordered the parachute handle for the truck. So ignore this print. I had to print it on my small printer on a weird angle, so, and I've never, you know, sanded it or addressed the bottom finish of it. But the parachute handle I drew, I was going to have it machined out of billet, and it was about $1,000, which, you know, sucks, but I would have done it because I was committed at that point to making this fit the way that I wanted it to fit, which I will make a separate video about this when the time comes. But $1,000 machined out of billet. I uploaded the step file onto Craft Cloud, and it translated to $160 shipped to my door here at the shop. So this will be our test part number 2. I have a couple things I want to try on my truck before we, you know, start tackling this stuff for customer vehicles. But with how good this turned out, I really see us using this a lot more. I have a couple project ideas in my brain already, so enough mumbling. I'm going to put this in the truck and we will see what it looks like. Here we go. We'll just swap out the bulkheads and hopefully everything fits. Okay, so first things first. That nut fits absolutely perfectly, and so does that one. That makes me feel good. And that threads in marvelously. I can't remember how much tolerance I left in my CAD design for the printer, but whatever it is, it translated perfectly to 3D printed metal. So that's pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little shocked by that. So if anybody can notice this little mark down here and this one up here, I threw this thing on the ground the day that I got it, intentionally, quite hard, just to see what would happen. And those are the only marks that happened. So it is very, very, very similar to what I would consider just a normal manufactured aluminum part, whether it be cast or machined billet. I'm really, really happy with this. So I'm going to go ahead and bolt it into the truck now, and we will reconvene. So there it is, all mounted. Everything fit flawlessly. It is absolutely no different than the piece that I printed myself. I am truthfully pretty flabbergasted that this technology exists for as low a price as it does. I should say the plastic thing that was in here before, the Carbon Pet G, there is, in my opinion, absolutely nothing wrong with it. It would have lasted the entirety of, the lifespan of this truck, I think. But in the profession that I'm in and the level of quality that I'm trying to get people to be on board with, sending somebody home, with one of these builds with a, plastic piece that we 3D printed in-house is probably okay in most scenarios, but this aluminum piece just sets the bar that much higher for us. And again, it opens up an insane amount of pathways for us to take certain things like this where they're, completely custom to the vehicle, and it's not going to be, $600 or $700 to have this machined out of a chunk of billet. It's going to be a lot easier to sell someone on, $100 part that is actually some type of metal that can be modified and whatever. So I'm really, really insanely happy with this part. Obviously, it's going to get coated when everything else goes for coating, but for the time being, that looks... I'm blown away by how perfectly it came out. I'm really, really shocked at the level of quality and the price. I'm really excited to see this parachute handle come now. So anyway, we're going to move on. I have some really cool valve cover burn down breathers we're going to put on, and those are going to feed into this tank, which you guys have not seen yet, which will be a whole video on its own. Once the valve cover's done, we got to pull the box to fit this thing in here. But again, that'll be a whole other video. So I'm going to pull the valve covers off and we will get going on the breathers. All right, so I got the first one mounted. You can see we got the hole cut out there, and I got 4 screws. These are the main 4 screws that get fastened in. Where'd the other one go? So you can see on this one, there's the 4 screws, and then there's these 2 holes on the outside flange. I'm sure that they're meant to screw into like a Hemi valve cover or something. Obviously we don't have that, so I really hate screws that don't have anything in them, so I did just put some 1/4-inch screws through them. We'll get some rubber sealing washers for those because they're on the outside of the O-ring gasket. But these do have an O-ring in them, so they should sit and seal no problem against our flat valve covers here. Overall, I'm really happy with how these look. I know everybody runs the Motion Raceworks ones, and there's nothing wrong with them, but I went with these ones because, again, everybody runs the Motion ones. These ones were a little cheaper by the time they got to Canada. You know, you don't see these every day. And they do look a little bit more industrial, I guess. And they have a really nice quick release function. So I can take the hoses off and pull the valve cover without having to take this whole assembly off or without having to undo the dash 12 fitting. So I got one done, and I guess I'm going to do the other one now. All right, so we got them both on in the same spot. They look pretty good. So these are not staying polished, obviously. They will get coated. I don't know what color yet. I definitely am torn about what's going to get coated what colors, because if you guys are familiar with this truck, this whole thing has been all black forever. So I'm open to suggestions. The intake will be for sure coated. I think the titanium charge pipes are going to get polished, I think. Turbo will get coated, intercooler, all that jazz, brackets, whatever. Probably the alternator is going to get done, the bracket, all that shit. Plus the stuff underneath that we've done so far is going to get painted and or coated. The 9-inch housing is going to get coated, all the anti-roll bar stuff, obviously. So I'm sure a lot of that will be black, but I am looking and or considering opening up the possibility of an actual color under here. The interior is all black. It's got a little bit of a red stitch, and I think there's actually some white stitching in there too, but not much inside to carry through the front of the truck. So I don't know, maybe like a gold or a burgundy or something. But anyway, if you have some suggestions, I'm open. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and put these on, and then that'll finish this part off. Bam. I love these. They look awesome. They're huge. They look impressive. Hopefully I don't need anywhere near that amount of volume coming out of the engine, because I feel like if I do in an LS, something is hurt. But we got them. They look cool. I'm here for it. They come apart really nice. Let's see if I can do it one-handed. I can. Boom. So when they go on for good, I don't know if I'm going to leave the pin up or if I put the pin down. I'll probably put the pin down just so it's a little less visible. Not that it really matters in any way, shape, or form, but I may wind up coating them as well, but I don't know. Either way, those are done. So pretty happy about that. Been looking forward to those, like I said, from October, I think. So it's cool to see little stuff like this start to come together. Still avoiding the headers. Okay, bye.